wildlife trafficking is one of the biggest threats facing some of the world's most iconic animals. In recent years, there has been a surge in the scale of this activity. It's getting bigger and bigger. Just to let you have an idea, a century ago, there were some 100,000 tigers in the world. Today, there are less than 4,000 in the wild. And the main reason for this is basically poaching, the main reason for this catastrophic decline. Elephants and rhinos, as other example species, are also being similarly depleted. Some 30,000 elephants are still being killed illegally every year. And at this rate, a child who is born today will probably see the last of the wild elephants and rhinos die before his 25th birthday.
Staci McLennan, Political Officer for the International Fund for Animal Welfare. Today the Commission have launched their Wildlife Trafficking Action Plan. Are you happy with this plan?
Yes, IFAW is actually quite pleased with the plan. It's extremely comprehensive. It's working to actually raise wildlife crime at a higher political agenda and make it seen as a serious crime. The EU is now a party to the International Convention on the Illegal Trade in Animals, and the action that they're taking with this action plan clearly shows that wildlife crime is now serious for them and on the agenda.
There are two aspects to this crime. There is the supply and there's the demand for these products. How can we reduce the demand for wildlife products?
So looking at demand, there's a lot of focus on awareness raising and demand reduction. The EU is certainly a consumer region. We import animals illegally for both the bird and reptile trade. But there's also a demand reduction that needs to happen in other countries, such as the Asian region. And a lot of efforts are ongoing right now by governments and even NGOs such as IFAW doing demand reduction in places like China, calling for an end to ivory trade, and educating consumers that many of these animals are actually killed for the trinkets that they're putting in their house.
Commissioner Vella has described this crime as a crime with very low risks and very high rewards. How can we really tackle this?
Well, that's very true. The problem is wildlife crime has often been seen as a very low-level crime. Only administrative fines have often been used against it. But now there's a call within this action plan for all member states to recognize wildlife crime is actually a serious crime. In fact, it's fourth in the world of illegal crimes after humans trafficking, counterfeiting, and drugs. So it's a very serious crime. And if the member states amend their legislation, it will allow them to enact international measures, such as looking at money laundering and other tools so that they can combat this really serious crime.
The plan is for 2016 to 2020. Are you convinced that they're going to be able to implement all actions that have been listed?
Well, it is a very ambitious plan, but there are clear timelines. There's clear responsibilities outlined for both member states, the council, high foreign representation to bring this to a much higher political level. And certainly the NGO community is very engaged and willing to act on this. So I can assure you we will certainly be following along and offering our support.
Catherine Feore, EU reporter. I just wanted to know, you say one of the issues that you're going to be tackling is the demand for these products. Can you say a little bit more about what sort of international cooperation is needed? I mean, obviously Europe is one of the markets for these products, but are there other countries that are associated with demand, particularly high demand for these products, and what sort of international cooperation are you looking at? Thank you.
Yes, we are counting very much on this international cooperation. If we tackle the avoidance, I think we have to start create awareness to start reducing the demand in the first place. The demand mostly is coming from Asia, and one of the main countries with one of the highest demands is China. And we have comfort in the fact that China is taking this also very, very seriously. I've had bilateral discussions with China on this, and they are very much prepared to cooperate with us. Obviously, we cannot only tackle from the demand side, but we have also to tackle from the supply side. And that is why the European Union is funding a lot of programs. We are investing a lot to help the source market to improve their conservation measures.